I want you to imagine this. You were just informed that your employer is going to be eliminating 5% of their staff because the firm is not performing as well as expected, and your position has been impacted. What do you do? Renee Collins here, CPA financial planner and the founder of Retire Ready, a firm that is dedicated to helping business owners and families to save more, invest smart, and build wealth. Now, if this is your first time at this channel and you find this information useful, please don't forget to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. So shortly after the events of 9/11, I lost my job. I was a single mom and my sole source of income was gone. I had no savings, I had a mortgage, a car note, student loans, and most importantly, I had a young son that I had to feed. My paychecks came in and I spent them as quickly as they arrived. I never really gave any thought to saving for the rainy day. I was a young mother, a bit naive, and I wasn't thinking about saving for the future. My thought was, I'll save eventually. That is, until life smacked me in the face like a ton of bricks. And now, a situation like this, I would never wish this on anyone. But you know what? Life has a way of teaching us lessons that we don't want to forget. Now, I share this story because there were quite a few lessons learned. Life is going to present us with these learning opportunities, and it's up to us to make sure that we see them when they come. So let me share some of the takeaways from my story. 1, the best lessons learned are those that you can learn from other people. Look at other people. What are their successes? What are their failures? What can you learn from them? The next thing I learned is that we have to talk about money. We have to have real, honest conversations about our money. Because what we will discover is that when we can share our stories, we can begin to understand that we're not on this journey, this money journey, this understanding how money works journey. We're not on this journey by ourselves. And it's helpful to know that, because then you know that you're not doing this by yourself. And that if other people are going through this and they're finding a way to navigate through it, you can do it too. And the other lesson that I learned is that there is power in being prepared, because life is going to life and you're not going to have any control over it. The only thing that we have control over is how we are going to prepare for the unexpected. Because it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, it is a matter of when. Because water heaters are going to break and you're going to have water all over your floor. I know. Kids are going to fall down and they're going to require a trip to the emergency room. I know. Cars are going to need to be repaired. I'm going to share a story with you. I recently had an auto repair that required that my engine be removed from the car. Ooh, can you say ouch? I felt that one. So my pocketbook, my bank account definitely took a hit. But notice I said my bank account took a hit. I didn't have to put that on a credit card. And so I was glad that I had the money in the bank because I was prepared for the unexpected. To me, not preparing for the unexpected is like an open invitation to Mr. Murphy. You guys know who I'm talking about. Murphy's Law is sure out to get you. So we want to make sure that we are preparing for our future. So I am going to provide you with 5 simple steps to help you create your Dream Defender Fund. What is a Dream Defender Fund, you say? Basically, it's your emergency fund. Essentially, what an emergency fund is basically a fund that ensures you stay on track towards achieving your dreams when the unexpected happens. When you have an emergency fund, you're not pulling money from unexpected places. You don't have to worry about putting money on your credit card, borrowing money from family, friends, or maybe you have a rich uncle, You don't have to raid your 401k account either. Remember, that money is for the future you. So let's talk about these steps. Step 1 is good financial planning says that you should be saving between 3 and 6 months of your living expenses. Now, honestly, this amount, it can vary from one person to the next because it really depends on your job stability, your family situation, and your risk tolerance. And let me just give you an example. Let's say that you are married and you and your spouse, you're both working. Now, if one of you should lose your job, can you live on one income? And if so, maybe you can focus on saving 3 months' expenses rather than 6 months' expenses. Or if you work for the government, you may have a bit more security than, say, an independent contractor who is self-employed. In a case like this, an independent contractor should be working towards saving at least 6 months of living expenses. Now, I know this can seem like a lot to a lot of people. So I recommend starting with maybe $500 or $1,000 initially. Now, this is considered your rainy day fund. Basically, a rainy day fund is nothing more than a T90 emergency fund. So it's established to help you cover some of those smaller expenses like insurance deductibles for a car or medical bills or maybe even some smaller auto repairs. Once you get that $1,000 saved, then start focusing on the emergency fund. And then here's an unpopular opinion. Some financial experts will say that if you have debt or high interest rate credit cards, that you should be pouring all of your time and effort and energy into paying off those credit cards. Well, I disagree because I believe that you should be saving and you should be paying down your debt. So create a debt elimination plan so that you can put a portion of your money towards paying down your debt, but you're also creating your emergency fund. Now, you may not be able to save as aggressively as you'd like to, but saving while paying off your debt, it does a few things. One, it helps you to build a savings habit, and it helps you to shift your mind towards becoming a saver. And it will also provide you with a bit of comfort and peace of mind knowing that if something unexpected happens, you have some money in your bank account to pay for it and you don't have to add to the credit card debt that you're working hard to pay off. So if you have debt, then what I want you to do is check out our Ditch the Debt Guide. It will provide you with some great strategies to help you not just get out of debt, but help you stay out of debt. So check out the link in the description or go to www.retirereadyinc.com/ditch the debt. So step 2, determine your target amount. You want to have enough in your account to cover your essential living expenses. Think about it this way. If you lost your job, what would you need to pay just so that you can provide for yourself and your family? We know you're going to have some housing expenses, maybe rent or mortgage, some utilities, food, insurance. If you have credit cards, you're going to be paying at least the minimum monthly payments and your car note. So those are some of the expenses that you want to make sure that you can cover. Now, it's also important not to oversave because yes, it is a thing. You want to save some money, but you also want to make sure that your money is working just as hard as you do. And we do that by investing. Investing, it helps us to maximize our growth potential with our money. So determine how much do you need to save, and then anything in excess of that, you want to start thinking about investing. Step 3, set a realistic time frame that makes sense for you. Take proactive steps towards achieving it as well. Now, if you want to have your emergency fund established, say in the next 24 months, then just take that amount and then divide it by 24. Let's assume that I need to have $9,000 in my emergency fund. I'm going to take that, divide it by 24 months, because I want to make sure that I am fully funded with my emergency fund within 24 months. So that would be $375 per month. Now, one of the things I recommend is that you take any money that you can find and put it towards your emergency fund. If you have a tax refund, you get money from birthdays, you have a bonus from your job, take that and fund your emergency fund first. And then here's the other thing I want you to keep in mind is that as you fund your emergency fund, remember that this is not just about saving money, it's not deprivation, it is about securing your financial peace of mind and being prepared for whatever it is that life throws your way. Now, step 4, where do we save? Where do we put our emergency fund? Your emergency fund should be kept in a place that is safe and accessible. No, not there. Nope, not there either. Put your money in a high interest bearing savings account or a money market account and make sure that it is FDIC insured. These days, you will typically get a higher interest rate if you have an online savings account, but you just want to make sure that that account is FDIC insured. Now, here's a saving strategy that I utilize for myself and that I also recommend for my clients. So we take the rainy day fund and we put that in the same bank as the checking account, maybe your operations checking account. And then we link the savings account for the rainy day fund. Remember, that's your T9C emergency fund. We link that to the checking account so that if you ever need to get money, get access to your money, you have that $1,000 there immediately. If you have a retail bank, you're not going to be earning much interest these days. Actually, you're going to be earning pennies at best. So the point is that this money, this rainy day fund, this is just to have access to that money should you need it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your emergency savings, your emergency fund, and you're going to put that into a high interest bearing online savings account that's going to provide you with a little bit more interest. So that's just a little tip that we utilize in our firm. Okay, 5th step, you have to define what is an emergency. What is a true emergency? Under what conditions are you going to tap this money? Now, we know an emergency is definitely a job loss, an unexpected medical bill, a trip to the ER, but a shoe sale at Nordstrom's is not. And listen, I love a great shoe sale, but that is not an emergency, okay? So there you have it. You have the 5 steps to help you build your emergency fund. I want to leave you with just a few tips to help you build your emergency fund. 1, make sure you prioritize your savings. Treat your savings contribution just like you would any other bill. Put it at the top of the list. Set up a direct deposit from your pay so that a portion of your earnings automatically goes into your emergency fund. Remember, out of sight is out of mind. Now, the next tip is don't forget to replenish your fund if you have to use it. Now, using your funds, your emergency funds, it can feel like a bit of a downer, but think about the bright side. Be grateful that you have it. That's what's most important. Start small, build up. The goal of saving 3 months worth of expenses, that may seem a bit overwhelming for some people, but remember, if it is, just start with 2 weeks. Start with 2 weeks of expenses and then go to 1 month of expenses. Save there, start there. Small steps can lead to big achievements. And don't forget to celebrate your milestones. Keep pushing. You got this. And then here's another tip. Review and adjust your expenses. If you're finding it challenging to carve out some savings from your income, then scrutinize your past few months of expenses to determine whether or not you have some wiggle room there. Is it something there that you're spending money on that really does not contribute to your happiness? Try to identify certain expenses within your budget to see, is there some place you can cut back? Because whatever that expense is, it's not contributing to your happiness quotient. And if cutting back, if you find that that's not really feasible, then you're going to have to consider the other side of the equation, which is increasing your income. And you can do that through skill development, maybe a new job, or even starting a side hustle. Okay, remember, building an emergency fund, it is a step towards financial security and peace of mind. Every small contribution, it will take you one step closer to this goal. So that's all I have today. Don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe so that you can get more practical financial tips like this to help you save, invest, and build wealth. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care and go be great today.